For the first subject of this session, I found a moth on these leaves, and instead of settling with a basic overhead shot, I wanted to get more creative and photograph it at an angle that I rarely ever go for when photographing moths. I went for an eye-level shot of it on the leaf, and it wasn't the easiest to pull off since its eyes were so small, but I eventually did get the shot I wanted. This next subject I found was a leafhopper nymph. Most leafhoppers and plant hoppers can be quite skittish most of the time, so I was just hoping that it would sit still long enough for me to get a shot. Luckily for me though, this one was very cooperative and I was able to get some shots of it. Found a jumping spider on this tree and it did not want to sit still at all. I was hoping to get a portrait shot of the spider, but it basically tried its best to avoid me, so I knew that the portrait shot I wanted wasn't happening, but I still did get a decent side angle shot of it that I liked. Here I found a spider on these leaves. The spider built a sheet web on the leaf and it was also upside down as well. For the shot, I wanted to go for a unique angle of the upside down spider on its web. To get the angle I wanted, I had to slightly bend the leaf it was on so I could get exactly eye level with the spider. This was hard to pull off because I was trying to be as gentle as possible to avoid startling the spider too much, and then also shooting handheld while also bending the leaf at the same time just made it more challenging. But I did eventually get the shot I was hoping for. The next subject was a very small spider. I'll have a size comparison picture just to show how small it was because it was pretty small. I had to pull out the extension tubes and the raynox for extra magnification, which puts me at a max of 2.5 times magnification for my setup. Since this spider was also on a leaf, I had to slightly bend the leaf to get the eye level shot that I wanted. The shot was hard to pull off since this was a handheld stack at 2.5 times magnification, but after a few attempts, I did eventually get a good stack of it. This next shot attempt is easily one of the hardest shots that I've attempted to take. What made it so difficult was the angle the spider built its web. Its web was built at a 120-degree angle, which made it very difficult to achieve the angle I wanted. I always like to go for unique angles, and for this subject, the goal was to get an eye-level shot of the spider on its web. To achieve this, I had to point my camera upward in this awkward angle, and honestly at this point I could barely even see my camera screen while I was taking the shots, because I was taking shots while also trying not to accidentally destroy its web and scare it off. This was definitely a case of persistence for me, because I kept messing up by not getting the angle I wanted, but after several attempts, I did eventually get the shot I was hoping for. Here I found one of the biggest leaf-footed bugs that I've ever seen. Luckily for me, this leaf-footed bug was in a very good spot with no background distractions, and it was also very cooperative, which made getting the shots I wanted much easier. I went for full body shots to showcase the entire bug, along with the cool natural background colors. Here I was photographing an aphid on these plants. I went for a focus stack, but the aphid did move a lot during the stack, which resulted in this outcome. I was able to fix these artifacts in Photoshop, but it definitely took some time to completely fix it. If anyone wants me to make a video on how to edit focus stacks and fix things like this, then let me know down in the comments. I will go much more in depth on that topic. Found another spider here. This time it was a cob weaver carrying its egg sac. My goal for the shot was to get a portrait stack of the spider and its egg sac in focus. And luckily for me again, this spider was very cooperative and sat still the whole time, and I was able to get the shot I wanted. Overall, this is one of my favorite macro walks ever, mainly because of the variety of species I was able to photograph. This is easily the most species I've ever photographed on one session, with the spined microthena being my favorite of the day because of the effort it took to get that shot. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite shot was, and if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. I'll catch y'all in the next one.